As first pitch, this one taken for a called strike, 0-1. Herring coming into today with 1 hit and 3 at-bats yesterday. As this pitch hit high, popped up towards shortstop side. And under it is Dano, and she'll make the catch. So 2 pitches and 1 out with Kyra McFarland up to bat.
3 pitches. The first 2 pitches were balls on the outside, going way outside. Lucky enough for Coppersmith, if she was able to get a little break after she got quickly behind 2-0.
Move your headset. Good. As for McFarland, first pitch strike. 0-1 now. As Coppersmith in the windup. And the left-handed McFarland lays down the bunt. And that one over to the third baseman and picks it up. Throw over to first in time. And quickly, Coppersmith has set aside the first 2 Seawolves in 4 pitches. Yes. That was the second baseman Stott coming over from her position to pick it up and get the runner out.
Coppersmith is able to put the ball on a good angle to force the batters to throw it into groundouts.
Now here comes the slugger Melissa Rarich. And Rarich, as we said, leading the team, batting .395, 49 hits, 10 doubles, 7 home runs. As the 1-0 is fouled by Rarich past the third base line. UMBC hosting this conference tournament at their home field, nicknamed the Diamond. That's to give you the dimensions. Of course, base paths are 60 feet away from each other. The outfield wall is averaging just about 250, about all around. As Rarich, 1-1 count, swings this one hard, swings the high, and this one going over to left field. And getting under it is Pierce to make the grab. And just like that, Coppersmith sets aside the Stony Brook lineup in 1-2-3.
And Coppersmith going to a great start so far, being able to get that early look that she has been very capable of producing this season. And that is probably why she'll look to try and go through that pressure on Stony Brook today.
As for Stony Brook, as we'll see Dawn Bodrug take the mound. Just to quickly go over starting lineups. Take a look at Stony Brook. Herring will led the lineup at center field. Batting second was Kyrie McFarland, this designated hitter. Batting third was Melissa Rarich at first base. Leading off the top of the second would be Nicole McCarville at short. Jordan Olkowski, the catcher, and Brooke Dye at second base. And your 7, 8, and 9 hitters for Stony Brook are third baseman Riley Craig, left fielder Julia Sanzone, and right fielder Shauna Nuss. Dawn Bodrick will be in the circle. As for UMBC, we will see, leading off for them, Maddie Danow. Batting second, Julia Keffler. Batting third, Sierra Pierce, the left fielder. Keffler will be at center. Then your designated player will be batting cleanup in Wilson, as Madison Wilson bats fourth. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Casey Turner. Batting sixth is Chanel Stott, second baseman. Batting seventh, the catcher, Anna Launcher. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Ashley De La Guardia. And batting ninth, the right fielder, Dempsey, as Megan Dempsey batting ninth. And in pitcher circle, obviously, Courtney Coppersmith. So, leading off, bottom of the first, is Keffler, as this one is taken for a called strike. Correctionally, this one is Dano, as the 0-1 is fouled aside, and quickly, Dano falls behind 0-2.
Count is what now? 1-2.
Bottom of the first, no score, no outs. As this one is hit hard, lined to the third base side, and a line drive caught by Craig. As Craig, who made some incredible stops in the first round game against UAlbany Friday, gets an easy line drive to the glove.
Oh, Craig being able to get a quick reaction on that. We saw her with some of those looks with the balls, many of the balls coming her way 2 days ago when they played against UAlbany. And really, she's just been really good and fast and reliant.
Now stepping up to the plate is Julia Keffler. And while Dano was the best hitter, Keffler is the team's second best hitter, batting .357 with 35 hits, 42 total bases earned, and an on-base percentage of .366. First pitch taken for a ball. As Baldrug in the pitcher circle, be throwing her 300th pitch of the America East tournament. As that one taken for a strike. And quickly, 1-1 count for Dano. As this one is hit hard, this one's sailing over third base side, and a diving grab.
She is
Riley Craig with another stop. As Craig able to get the line out at third and put away Dano.
There's actually a 1 and 2. She didn't make it.
Oh, just missed, but great effort there as another foul. Riley Craig, though, great third baseman, as we said, absolutely able to just get to any position. As this one by Keffler, soft pop-up to shallow left, and getting under it is the left fielder, and is going to put that one away. So Sanzone with the out off the just barely missed grab by Riley Craig, and UMBC with 2 outs here, and Sierra Pierce up to bat. So like, how big is it for Baldrug to get the 1, 2, and 3 hitters out?
Well, she's 1 out away from doing that, and she really wants to try and be just as strong as Coppersmith to make this a very competitive game to keep Stony Brook's season alive.
As we said, for Stony Brook, 1 game, they lose that, and they're done. For UMBC, they're going to have to lose both in order to miss out on becoming back-to-back champions. As we see here, this one is hit hard over the left field side, this one hit over the short, and McCarville's going to get under it, and with that, retire the side. So, no score after 1 inning of play. A lot of pop-outs and line-outs, but with that, Stony Brook and UMBC held scoreless after 1 inning of play. You're listening to WUSB Stony Brook, Ken Fermin, Zach Wilson on the call.
It's quite an impressive display that we have been seeing from both teams today. It's just been all the fun that they've have had for quite some time. So let's see what more we can display off of both teams trying to be tough. 1, 2, 3 for Coppersmith and 1, 2, 3 for Baldrug. Just how they continue to, pretty much you could say, butt heads with each other.
Yeah, they have been the pitching duo, pitching combatants of the America East this season. I mean, for a long time, it was really a battle between Baldrug and Coppersmith for who was going to win the incredible pitcher of the East, America East honor. As first pitch to McCarville, taken high and upstairs for a ball. Stony Brook wearing their all-white unis with red socks. UMBC dressed down in black. As McCarville, the right-handed hitter, takes the pitch outside, catches the right part of the plate for a strike.
Little screwball that Coppersmith was able to fool McCarville on. Very impressive pitch, if I do say so myself.
Coppersmith, so impressive, the most impressive pitcher in the America East, as this one swung on and missed for a strike. Pitch thrown low below the knees. McCarville caught reaching And that's how Coppersmith beats you, Zach.
Yeah, you know that McCarville's going to really have to try and step things up a little more bigger.
1-2 on the way. This one hit hard over the center field side. And running over to get under it is the center fielder, Keffler. And with that, 1 out here at the top of the second.
So the first 4 batters for Stony Brook have been retired by Coppersmith. That's how Courtney's been able to get the right angle with throwing the ball. So when the Seawolves batters hit it, it goes in a way that doesn't seem too threatening to UMBC.
First pitch taken for a strike by number 5 hitter, Nowakowski. One battery player to another. Pitcher against catcher here. Coppersmith wearing an all-black face mask. This pitch, heater, high above the zone, above the eyes, taken for a ball. Coppersmith with a wristband. Taking a look at the signs. Wristband displaying probably stats. 1-1 taken for a called ball. Just misses the right corner of the plate against the right-handed hitting Nowakowski. And Zach Nowakowski has had a, not great, but a good postseason. Good regular season as well, batting .264.
Well, she has been eyeing the speed and the angles that the pitchers have been throwing at her.
And this one swung on, hit behind the backstop for a strike. 2-2 count.
No foul ball where Nowakowski had that one go just behind her and hit the cage. Of course, to us, it's pretty much imaginary that we're there since we're in the studios of WUSB, so
Yeah.
I don't need to worry at all.
We'll add, just like UMBC, it's a beautiful day here at Stony Brook, and it's a beautiful day at the Diamond. I believe both temperatures around the same, 81 degrees here just off the Long Island Sound. Mostly clear skies for the setting at the Diamond. As pitch coming, this one swung on and missed. It looks like the initial graphic had the count wrong. It was a 3-1 count, not a 2-2 count. So that swing and miss makes it a full count for Nowakowski.
Well, that's pretty odd to not understand.
This one taken outside for a ball, and like that, the Seawolves have their first base runner of the afternoon.
So Nowakowski able to get a good at-bat on Courtney Coppersmith by being able to take advantage of what seemed to be a bit of an error that allowed Nowakowski to have more time at the plate than she would have thought. So now she'll be the first base runner for either side today.
And for Nowakowski, that one her 11th walk of the season, second best for the Seawolves. That'll bring up Brooke Dye, as Dye waits on this heater down Broadway for a called strike. 0-1 count here in a scoreless game, top of the second. Coppersmith with the pitch. This one, another heater. Clipping the right corner of the plate, down the middle for a called strike. For Brooke Dye, batting .167 on the season with 11 strikeouts, as she takes this one and is called out for a strike 3. Throw over to first, not in time, as Nowakowski has to dive back head first to first base, but Coppersmith striking out Dye after surrendering the walk to Nowakowski.
Dye was really frozen on that pitch. No, Coppersmith able to deal pretty well right there for the first strikeout for either side today, as it makes our way to the top of the second. And
how about that to all heaters, as first pitch to the left-handed batting Riley Craig is taken outside for a ball. Craig coming into this one, batting .213, slugging .295. Does lead the team in strikeouts, though, with 27. We're on first as Craig swings on this one, fouls it over the home plate fencing for a 1-1 count. Taking a look at what Riley Craig did yesterday against Coppersmith, was one of the 4 Seawolves to get a hit, as this one taken for a strike down the middle. Craig also delivered an RBI hit and struck out once as well. Brooke Dye struck out twice against Coppersmith. 1-2 coming, swung on and missed, strike 3. Coppersmith with the riser and just blows it by Craig, who strikes out swinging. So, with that, the Seawolves leave one runner on base, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no score. As we approach the bottom half of the second, you're listening to WSB FM, WSB 90.1, WSB 107.3 FM. Wilson, Turner, and Stott, 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up to bat. And the right-handed sophomore, Wilson, takes the first pitch high and inside for a called ball. UMBC coming into this one hitting 290 overall, holding their opponents to hitting just under 220, and batting average 160 runs for the Retrievers, 138 of those batted in. This one taken out middle for a called strike.
Madison Wilson, the sophomore. She's been hit by a pitch 3 times this year. This is her 27th appearance of the season.
1-1 on the way. Pitch taken outside, just catches the bottom right corner of the plate for a strike as Baldrug gets ahead of the count, 1-2.
For Wilson, she has also been able to muster 9 extra base hits.
And 5 home runs, the team leader in that category. One of 7 batters to hit over 300 this season. 1-2 coming. This one swung on and sends the ball over the home plate fencing.
Her 64th at-bat of the season. She has had 21 hits so far and has produced 15 RBIs.
As the 1-2 coming on the way for the slugger, taken outside for a ball. And Zach, as a pitcher and expert, how do you pitch against a slugger, especially one like Wilson that leads the team in home runs?
Look for the screwballs, try and work up some good rise or low ball or drop balls that you can really fool the batter on.
We'll see what Baldrug goes with as she fidgets with the ball in her glove. And pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. You're right, Zach. Baldrug, one of the off-speed pitch. He almost changed up a like toss that was inside, down the middle, as Wilson was expecting something on the outside part of the plate, and Baldrug gets her first strikeout of the afternoon.
And the designated hitter gets struck out for the 10th time this season, and Baldrug is finally able to muster a strikeout as well today. So both pitchers with a strikeout in this game.
That'll bring up Turner to the plate, takes the pitch low and outside for a called ball. And looking at what Turner has done this season, on 34 games played, batting .233 with 21 hits, 1-0 coming. This one low and inside, below the knees for a called ball. It's the heart of the batting order, Zach. And again, with a pitcher who's thrown over 300 pitches in the afternoon, what kind of pressure is on Baldrug here? Is the 2-0 count taken low and outside for a ball?
Pressure is that she knows how great of batters that the Retrievers have this season. They've seen many great batters, too, like the one she faced before in Maddie Degno, but she was able to force the line out to third on her. So if anything, she needs to remain confident, make herself sure that she can get those throws into the strike zone more often.
3-0 on the way. This one taken low and outside for ball 4. So the first UMBC base runner is awarded first base as Turner draws the 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Chanel Stott, second baseman, to the batter's box. Looking at Stott, 1 for 3 against Baldrug yesterday, along with an RBI hit. She's batting 3 for 6 on the weekend, including 1 triple and 2 runs batted in. Infielders are in as first pitch swing. This one is hit hard towards the left field side, and getting under it is the left fielder for the Seawolves to put her away, and Sanzone secures out number 2 for Stony Brook.
A good read by Sanzone. It seems like she had to go very quickly under the sun and under the ball to try and make that catch. It could have been close to an extra base hit, but Sanzone looking relentless for the second day in a row after she got the 3-run homer against UAlbany yesterday, and now she's trying to work on the other side of softball with her defense.
And defensively, Stony Brook can't afford any errors. Committed 1 in the blowout victory against UMBC. But that game 2 of the series, as the first pitch to launch short, taken for a strike. Game 2 of the series was a 3-2 battle where really the runs were The game-winning run for UMBC was awarded via error as Stony Brook committed 2 in the top of the 7th, which gave UMBC 3 runs and gave UMBC the victory. As swung on by Launcher, this one sailing out of play, quickly behind 0-2.
We know right now that this is all or nothing for Stony Brook and not yet all or nothing for UMBC, so the Seawolves can't afford any more mishaps.
Pitch taken high, Mikowski climbed the ladder to get it. Runner stays at first, 1-2 count. And as Zach alluded to, double elimination tournament, UMBC with no losses entering today. They need to lose 2 times for Stony Brook to win. For the Seawolves, their next loss is their final one of the season. 1-2 coming, pitch taken low, and called for strike 3. Ball drug, after allowing the walk, sets down the Retrievers, and 2 strikeouts in the inning will put them away. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base, 2 strikeouts for Ball drug, bottom of the 2nd. No score as we approach the top of the 3rd inning. You're listening to WUSB Stony Brook.
Yeah, and really, we've seen how Dawn Bodrick has been having quite a good start to the game so far. She's been able to maintain her level of efficiency the same way that Courtney Coppersmith has for UMBC, and we know that this is going to remain this way for a little while, but then eventually we'll see both teams try to find a way to work around their opponent. It's going to be tough.
You brought up an excellent point, because again, looking at the game history, they're all relatively low-scoring games. UMBC won 2 times. That was Game 3 and yesterday's game, 4-1. Game 2 was the UMBC victory 3-2, where for the majority of the game, Stony Brook was up 2-0. Really, the one outlier was Game 1, where Stony Brook won 11-2, and obviously the big difference maker there was Courtney Coppersmith was the designated player. She wasn't on the field for that game.
Yeah, even the softball Twitter page has really acknowledged this to be quite the pitcher's duel that's been brewing in Baltimore.
Yeah, and how fun has it been, Zach, seeing Baldrug and Coppersmith? The 3rd time this season, the 2 aces have dueled against each other.
Well, you know this is the top 2 pitchers in the America East, and you know that you are definitely living for this if you're a softball fan, especially in the America East.
The only 2 pitchers in the conference with no hitters thrown this season. As first pitch swing for Sanzone, and she lines this one past the 3rd base line, foul.
Yeah, it's another good one. Point you made up right there, Ken. Both Bodrick and Coppersmith, the only pitchers in the America East to produce at least 1 no-hitter all season long, and that's just what makes them such a legit threat, especially if one of them can help bring their team to the tournament.
0-1 swung on, and this one fouled past the first base line. So that one going opposite, still out of play. Sanzone falls behind 0-2. Yesterday, Juliana went 0-3 with 2 strikeouts against the ace. 1 of 3 Seawolves batting above 300. Pitch taken outside against the right-hander. This one well past the right side of the plate.
But Lanchar really needed to shift over to the right while on her knees. Of course, she didn't need to worry about it too much since there was nobody on base.
1-2 coming, wind up pitch. This one swung on, popped up towards the first base side. Getting under it is the first baseman in De La Guardia, and she'll make the catch. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd.
It was in foul territory, yet De La Guardia was able to read that ball pretty well. We haven't really seen many foul outs that the Seawolves have produced throughout the last few games, but it doesn't really seem to have changed any concept to how this game continues to flow.
It's so tough, especially against a pitcher like Coppersmith, where she induces those against lineups that, again, don't really hit too many like those shallow pop-ups. As first pitch to the batter is taken for a strike. As yesterday, Coppersmith induced 11 flyouts. Shauna Nuss takes this one for a called strike. First pitch taken for a ball, so a 1-1 count. As I was saying, Coppersmith induced 11 flyouts against her 26 batters faced. Only 3 groundouts. 1-1 coming to Nuss. This one swung on, grounded over the shortstop side. Throw over to first in time, as the throw by Deno will put away Nuss, and quickly Coppersmith has 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
Well, you see how they're able to react to Nuss trying to put a little chipper on the ball, trying to make it go a little low speed to not give the infielders any time to throw over to first, but they were quick enough to do that, and Daigneault was able to get a good read on it too.
So here's Herring, 0 for 1 on the afternoon. First pitch swinging, this one hit hard towards the right field side, and getting under it is the right fielder in Dempsey, makes the grab, and Coppersmith quickly sets aside the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Stony Brook. Approaching bottom of the third here, no score. Stony Brook UMBC battling for the America East Championship. You're listening to Softball Action live on WUSB FM. Welcome back to the America East Championship between Stony Brook and UMBC. No score, bottom of the third. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Retrievers. De La Guardia get her first at-bat against Dawn Baldrug in her third inning of work. As first pitch swung on and hit past the third base fence, out of play.
I don't know if that was really smart on De La Guardia. That ball was going really wank, hanging it inside, and she should have let that be. That would have been ball 1.
Yeah, definitely seen an uptick in aggressiveness as De La Guardia takes the pitch outside past the right side of the zone for a ball. Nowakowski lost her handle on the ball. Not that it matters, but
Of course it doesn't matter. There was nobody on base.
you don't see that too much from Nowakowski. He's one of the best catchers in the America East. This pitch taken inside for a ball. 2-1 count to De La Guardia.
It was pretty much the same type of throw from Baldrug that it was from her on the first pitch. But this time De La Guardia does decide to be wise and not take it.
Pitch number 26 on the way for Baldrug. Wind up, swung on, and hit past the first base side. Foul.
Well, you know, eventually, sooner or later, one of these batters is going to probably end the no-hitter bid on either Baldrug or Coppersmith. They're just too strong to get shut out like that.
De La Guardia, a good candidate. 2 of 3 yesterday in the 4-1 victory over the Seawolves. As pitch taken high for a called ball. Full count for Ashley De La Guardia, first baseman. Struck out in her non-hit at bat. And Baldrug, there was a pitch hit past the third base side, foul. We'll do it again. Dawn Baldrug, 323 pitches thrown in 3 days. And you gotta wonder not only how the arm is feeling, but if fatigue is setting in, as this one just misses the right corner of the plate for a ball, and for the second consecutive inning, the Retrievers have a runner on via the walk.
But they're still looking for a base hit because they know it'll be probably a little more easier on Baldrug to get a base hit than it is to draw the walk, because you're not always going to be able to get it on her that often. There's no hits, then you're not going to have too much more of a chance to get where you need to go.
Number 9 hitter stepping up to the plate, as we will see a pinch runner, just like we did in yesterday's contest. I believe that is
Julia Colton.
Julia Colton, who pinch ran yesterday for Madison Wilson.
She has 2 stolen bases on the year, so this is probably why the head coach for UMBC is looking to try and have her steal a base to put UMBC in scoring position.
And it's interesting for softball especially, as looking at Stony Brook, they really only have 1 designated runner, that being Emma Campbell. UMBC has gone to 2 or 3 throughout the season. For example, Macy Granzo pinch ran for De La Guardia yesterday, as Jaden McKeon and Julia Colton pinch ran for Madison Wilson, as the first pitch by Dempsey taken high for a called ball.
Well, when you're Baldrug in this situation, you don't want to go for too many more balls. You're facing off against a batter that's averaging 250 this year, so you figured you had to have a good chance to get her out.
As 1-0 taken for a called strike, pitch catching the bottom part of the zone. First member in softball not allowed to steal until after the pitch has been released.
Well, of course, the diamond is shorter in softball than it is in baseball, so the runners could still have a good opportunity if they have the good enough speed.
60 feet instead of 90 are the base paths. 1-1. Dempsey scoring up the bunt, pops this one. Foul past first base dugout.
So unfortunate for Colton because she was stealing right there after Bodrick released the ball, but because of Dempsey's foul, she'll have to move back to first. We'll see if she tries to do it again if Dempsey doesn't foul it here.
Dempsey batting .250 on the season, 15 hits. Only 2 extra base hits. 1-2 coming. This one taken inside. Colton going and is going to slide like first and gets in safely. Nowakowski held on to the ball for an extra second. I don't think she realized the runner was advancing and allowed Julia Colton to slide in safely.
I didn't like that from Nowakowski. She should have kept her eyes also. If she could have been able to also keep her eyes on LaGuardia as well throughout the entire time, then she would have probably been able to get her out. Instead, UMBC is in scoring position for the first time today.
Crispin Colton, 2-2 on the way. Lunging out the batter's box is Dempsey just to stay alive as she fouls this one, the opposite side of the field. Runner in scoring position, first of the afternoon for either team. 2-2 count here, no score. Bottom of the third, America East Championship softball game live on WSB FM. Of course, as we said, calling it from WSB Studios on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. They are playing on a just as beautiful field at the Diamond in Baltimore County, Maryland. And again, Dempsey fouls this one to the backstop.
Troopers are trying to make Bodrick work for it, keeping her playing with those at-bats for a little while.
7th pitch of the at-bat, upcoming to Dempsey. As this pitch taken just inside for a called ball, and Dempsey works the full count after trailing earlier 0-2.
Bodrick's having a little trouble here in the bottom of the third. After she threw a walk to De La Guardia, she's in danger of giving one up to Dempsey.
Dempsey 0-3 yesterday. And this one swung on and missed, strike 3. Dempsey swung down the middle. Pitch was another high riser, catching the top corner of the zone. Would have been a strike either way, but a big first out for the Seawolves ace.
Well, if it wasn't a strike and if it was a ball, that would have put a lot more pressure on Bodrick, but some pressure taking off for a little while for now.
Not too much. Top of the order, back up to bat. Maddie Denell steps in the batter's box, takes the first pitch inside for a called strike. Denell has slapping experience, but is usually a contact hitter. The team's best hitter, 0 for 1 on the afternoon today. A left-hander, as Riley Craig is pinching inside. As Denell swings on this one and soars it behind home plate, quickly falling behind 0-2, Zach.
Dagnell is also the second best slugger on the team, as Ravitch is the best for Stony Brook, and you know that apparently Sierra Pierce, the third batter in the starting lineup for Retrievers, looking pretty nimble too.
Yeah, a lot of power, especially for UMBC. 0-2 swung on, fouled past third base side. 7 batters hitting 300 or above. Four of those hitting 330 or better. Dano is one of them. Entering today's contest, batting 358, was 1 of 4 scored yesterday's contest. This one swung on, hit hard to shallow center field, and getting under it is Jordan Herring. And she makes the catch to put away the slugger. Runner stays on second, so another big out keeps the runner in scoring position, but not 60 feet from home.
Bodrick able to start reclassifying a rhythm here after giving up the walk to De La Guardia and allowing her to steal second. She's been able to retire the last 2 without letting De La Guardia move from second base.
Center fielder Julia Keffler up, speedster, left-handed, hitting first pitch. This one swung on hard over the left field side, and making the grab is Riley Craig in foul territory for the out. And with that, the runner is stranded. Stony Brook almost in the jam, but Bodrick able to get out of it by forcing a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. So no runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base through the bottom of the third. No score here in Game 1 of a potential doubleheader in the America East Softball Championship. You're listening to it live on WUSB 90.1 FM. Harry McFarland due up, start the top of the fourth. 0 for 1 on the afternoon, and quickly fouls a pitch behind home plate for a strike.
We are nearly halfway through this game one, as long as it doesn't go beyond 7 innings, and despite the walks that both teams have allowed, neither pitcher has given up a hit.
Farland taking a running start in the batter's box, does a swing as the pitch catches the left corner of the strike zone for a strike.
Figured this is still what it's going to be all about. Bodrek and Coppersmith trying to be at their best, trying to channel the energy that they have when they got their no-hitters this season.
Through the first 3, as this one sailing over the second fielder, and this was going to drop in between second and right field, and Kyra McFarland breaks the hitless cycle for both teams as she bloops and a shallow single for the Seawolves' first hit of the afternoon.
Well, looks like there's a spark right there that Stony Brook is able to put up, ending the no-hitter bid for Courtney Coppersmith, and with that, Stony Brook, they have a chance here to try and build a run off of it if they can.
And a big at-bat here for Melissa Roberts, the slugger. First pitch taken high and away for a ball, as Roberts coming in to this one. No hit, her first time up. 1-0 now, this one swung on, popped towards shallow, I believe center field, and getting under it is the center fielder Keffler. McFarland stays at first, so 1 out there, as brings up the number 4 batter, Nicole McCarville. Roberts 0 for 2 for the contest, had a hit yesterday, as did McCarville, who had a hit and scored, was the lone scoring player for Seawolves in the loss. She takes the first pitch outside, catches the right corner of the plate for a called strike.
We figured this had to happen sooner or later, that eventually one of these teams would be able to start establishing a rhythm with hitting.
0-1 coming, McFarland on the move, trying to steal for second. This one hit again towards the middle of center field. Under it again is Keffler, and she makes the catch, so McFarland returning to first. And quickly 2 pop-ups to center field give the Seawolves 2 outs.
Roderick and McCarville both flying out to Keffler. That's not what they were looking for. Of course, it was right near the warning track, but just needed a few more feet for it to be out of there.
Not a lot of offense in this game, as this has been a pitcher's duel all the ways. Nowakowski takes a pitch on the outside part of the plate for a called ball. Nowakowski for her first hit of the series. 1-0, swung on and missed for a strike. That pitch, a heater, past the outside part of the plate. Nowakowski tried chasing, got nothing in return. Well, what do the Seawolves have to do to really start stacking some hits here, Zach?
Well, you know, you're going to have to try and see how McFarland did it before.
Swung on and missed another pitch, catching the outside part of the plate. Nowakowski a step too slow in the swing and quickly falling behind 1-2 in the top of the fourth of this scoreless contest between the Seawolves and Retrievers. Retrievers win. They are the back-to-back champions. Pitch taken outside. McFarland on move to second, and the throw over to the second baseman, who wasn't covering second base. So, although the throw to stop was in time, she was about 10 paces from second base.
It wasn't just it wasn't really a good throw by Anna Launcher, who was throwing it from the plate. I mean, that wasn't where she wanted it to go. She wanted it to go closer.
2-2 coming. Runner in scoring position. This one fouled past the first base side.
So now both teams have been able to produce at least one runner in scoring position today. The Retrievers had one in the last inning with a player on second, and now the Seawolves had the same thing, but they're still with 2 outs.
2-2 here for Nowakowski. 264 this season. 26 hits, the 3 doubles, and this one taken called strike 3, as for the second consecutive half inning, a runner is stranded in scoring position. So, no runs, 1 hit, the first of the contest, 1 left on base through the middle of 4, reaching the halfway point. It is a scoreless game here on WUSB Stony Brook. Back here at WUSB Studios is Ken Fermin and Zach Wilson on the call for the America East Championship, currently taking place live at the Diamond in Baltimore County, Maryland. UMBC, the reigning, defending America East champions, have won 2019 conference title as well as the 2021 regular season title, going 11-5, just besting the Seawolves, who finished 11-6 on the season. Bottom of 4th here, first pitch swinging, as this one is popped up to the third base side, as Craig got under it, but it was McCarville who came hustling over from short to make the catch, and one pitch, one out, as Pierce popped that one up to McCarville.
McCarville was calling for it at the last second, trying to declare being able to overrule Riley Craig, and I think that Broderick is kind of seeing how interesting it is, but I'm sure that Craig and McCarville are still on good terms,
a lot of laughs there. There's no A-Rod Jeter scenario, if you recall that fateful day back in 05. I'm sure Matt Mankiewicz recalls that one well. As first pitch to Wilson, taken, bottom right corner of the zone for a called strike. Retrievers looking for their first hit of the afternoon, as this one is swung on and pitch sailed behind home plate for a strike. Designated hitter, 0-1 on the contest, struck out for a first time against Baldrick. One of 3 strikeout casualties against the Seawolves ace. 0-2 coming, this one grounded over towards second, picked up by Dye, throw over to first. Rarish with the catch in time, as the ground out gives UMBC 2 outs here at the bottom of the 4th.
Well, Stony Brook's defense and Don Bodrick's pitching has remained consistent so far, and looking really good against a UMBC team that has always been known for their batting along with Stony Brook this season. But when Game 1 last weekend at University Field, Stony Brook was only able to allow 2 runs, and they have a good chance to do well with the defense again today, but the offense also needs to step up.
As we see Casey Turner stepping up, first pitch, second for a strike. And yeah, Zach, as you alluded to, it's been interesting seeing the Stony Brook defense. They've played perfect throughout many of the contests they've been involved in. 37 errors, but a fielding percentage of .968. This pitch for Turner, taken outside for a ball. Better than the Retrievers' 42 errors and .956 fielding percentage. Stony Brook's fielding percentage almost at 97%, one of the best in the nation. As this one is bunted over to the first base side. Roberts picking it up, throw over to first in time to beat the speedster and Turner. As again, that Seawolves defense, Zach, stepping up, everyone getting in the right positions to get the out off the quick bunt attempt.
Yeah, and that time it was Rarich who had to go all the way. That way McCarville would be able to grab the catch from her at first base. You don't really see that too often, but when bunt is shown, you know you got no other choice, and the Seawolves executed that play perfectly.
Yeah, the unorthodox 3-4 ground out there is there to put away Turner, and through 4 innings of work, zeros across the board in the score at the America East Softball Championship game, top of the 5th. As quickly, Brooke Dye is behind in the count, 0-2 after taking a first pitch strike and popping a pitch behind home plate. No score here at the top of the 5th. Courtney Coppersmith, Dawn Baldrug, the 2 best hurlers in the America East, dominating this duel. This pitch by Dye down the middle, popped up towards the first base side. Getting under it is Ashley De La Guardia. She's had a very busy day and gets another put out, her 4th, by catching the pop-up.
Yeah, she has quite a busy day today. 4 chances there have been 4 plays for her to get the batters out today. This most recent one here in the foul out. The last one was when she was able to get the ground out from shortstop to get out Nuss, fouls out Sand Zone, and gets the ground out from Coppersmith.
And first pitch taken by Craig. Lefty on lefty matchup. between Cordy Coppersmith, the left-handed pitcher, versus Riley Craig, the left-handed batter.
She grounds it to first unassisted for out number 2.
and quick out, Zach. That went straight over to De La Guardia for her 5th putout of the contest. And in a matter of seconds, the Seawolves are down 2 outs at the top of the 5th.
Also want to just point out there that Stony Brook in baseball will have their weekend series played in less than 10 minutes against the UMBC Retrievers with the top seed on the line.
First pitch by Sanzone. This one over to LaGuardia. She's unable to handle it as the ground ball popped up at the last second as she tried to get her glove down there. And with that, Seawolves whiff a runner on first base. I believe that'll be ruled an E3.
De La Guardia has had a great game. It was just bound to catch up with her, it looked like. We saw the same thing happen to Riley Craig 2 days ago. And it looks like the same unfortunate mishap just happened right there for De La Guardia.
14 putouts for the UMBC defense. De La Guardia often doing it herself. Some throw over to first. As the first pitch taken by Shauna Nuss, number 9 hitter, for a called strike inside. Lefty against lefty again. Seawolves 7, 8, and 9 hitters, all batting left. Nuss takes this one outside, low and away for a called ball.
We've been at this for almost an hour, and they've already been through 5 innings.
Yeah,
pretty quick, I'd say.
Agreed. This pitcher's duel is fast action here. Not a lot of opportunities for hitters, as this one slowly rolled over to third, throw over to first, not in time, and a quick throw over to second, but Sanzone is called safe, and the Seawolves cooking up some action here late in the 5th inning. 2 runners on with 2 outs.
Nice little late inning action that they really put up right there, Ken. And it was really fortunate enough for Sanzone as she went to second, because she was out for 1 second. That nearly allowed Turner to throw it over to Stott, but it was an errant throw that allowed Sanzone to remain safe at second. So this inning will continue.
Here for Jordan Herring. Lined out her first time in her last at-bat to right field. First pitch swinging again. This one lined over to the second baseman. And a great snag there by Stott to prevent the ball from rolling in the shallow outfield and potentially allowing a Seawolf run to score. So another scoring chance blown by the Seawolves as there's no score in the middle of the 5th here at WUSB Studios. 3rd time's the charm. Live calling American East Softball Championship action between the Seawolves and the Retrievers. Retrievers, the number 1 seed, defeated the number 4 seed UMass Lowell Riverhawks and the number 3 seed Seawolves to host and advance to the conference finals. For Stony Brook, defeated number 2 U Albany twice and dropped their first contest against the Retrievers yesterday to make it here. UMBC only needs 1 win to secure their 2nd consecutive title in the conference, and Stott is going to be leading off the inning, bottom of the 5th. First pitch swinging and fouls this one to the backstop. First strike. Stott made the great save at the top half of the inning to prevent a Seawolf run from scoring. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up to bat here in bottom of the 5th against Baldrig. 0-1 coming, wind up taken. Caught middle part of the plate for a strike. 0-2 count.
Well, that looked like it was way inside, but the ump must have thought that it was able to catch just enough of the corner for it to be fair enough.
I have noticed, Zach, a lot of the inside pitches being called for strikes, despite them being low. 0-2 on the way. This one swung on and missed. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. I believe as... Yep, foul tipped, called strike 3, and 1 out for Baldrig as she gets her 4th strikeout, matching Coppersmith on the game.
Yep, you see that both Coppersmith and Baldrig at the same level working at it today through 5 so far.
And interestingly, Zach, Baldrig and Coppersmith both with exactly 56 pitches thrown. Baldrig's 57th, low and inside for a strike against Launchart, the catcher. And both pitchers came in with over 200 thrown. Baldrick well over 330 pitches thrown on the series. Baldrick's at about 270. This pitch rolls underneath Nowakowski's knees for a ball.
That's actually a really high rise ball that went off the glove of Nowakowski.
There you go.
But the fact is, there's still a chance for Baldrick to claim that no-hitter. Is not going to happen now for Courtney Coppersmith, as she has already given up a couple of base hits.
Swung on and missed. Pitch down Broadway. The off-speed pitch. Full lean launcher. She was a second ahead of the ball. 1-2 count.
Well, even if Stony Brook was leading in this game, I don't know if there'd be better confidence for Baldrick to get a no-hitter at this point.
Yeah, I think the key for them is winning. 1-2 on the way. Another riser sailing over everyone's head.
I think she is incredibly lucky that even with those balls that are going way over Nowakowski's head, that there are no runners on base, so she can still stay good looking for the time being.
Yeah, gotta imagine what factor fatigue is playing in. As we said, well over 300 pitches. Quick innings of work for both pitchers and quicker for offenses. Swung on 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 for offenses. And missed for strike 3. Pitch low and inside. Gets the catcher reaching as she was fooled in the batter's box. And back-to-back strikeouts for Baldrick. 5 Ks on the afternoon.
You can throw as many balls outside as you like, as long as you can get a strikeout and there is nobody on base at all. You're still there, you're still looking good, and it doesn't mean a thing.
Yeah, 17 wild pitches. Not this season, not much of a factor in this game, as you stated, because she hasn't really allowed many runners. We've only a pair on walks. First pitch to Ashley De La Guardia, taken outside for a ball.
Nowakowski had an interesting angle on it, trying to catch that ball, trying to convince the umpire that was staying in, caught the corner, but she just couldn't get the angle clear enough.
The 8-hitter takes this one outside for another ball.
One went down low.
Great,
Could have gone either way from our angle.
great point, Zach. The framing Nowakowski. One of the things that makes her such a great catcher. Well, she doesn't really have to worry too much about framing because Baldrick often throws strikes like that pitch that was low and down the middle, part of the zone for a strike. 1:01 p.m. here in the America East Softball Championships. The first of potentially 2 games. Ken Fermin, Zach Wilson calling the action. WUSB Stony Brook 90.1 FM, W297 BM, Stony Brook 107.3. Pitch taken inside and low for ball 3 against De La Guardia.
Well, even if she does allow a walk here, I don't know if there will still be that much pressure on her. She is still 1 out away from making it 5 complete innings throughout this game.
3-1 coming. This one hit high towards the center field side. Herring under it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 inning for Baldrick, and through 5 innings of work, no score between the Seawolves and the Retrievers here in the America East Softball Championships. Back here at the Diamond for the America East Championship, McFarland, Rorick, and McCarville, 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up, top 6 against Courtney Coppersmith. First pitch, laying down the slap hit is McFarland. She hits this one towards the left side to shortstop. Throw her to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out for the UMBC ace, who's thrown 57 pitches the afternoon.
Yeah, she has really also looked really good, giving up that couple of hits, but when you don't allow any runs, you know that you're still looking pretty fine enough.
Now, stepping into the batter's box is Melissa Rorich. 0-2 on the afternoon. 2 putouts. Both teams obviously looking for runs as she takes first pitch for a ball. Now, Rorich yesterday 1 of 2, drew a walk in the contest. 0-1 coming, high and away for ball 2.
That meant it was 1-0.
Yeah, as looking at Rorich, her best game against Coppersmith this season came in game 2, where she went 2 of 3 with a 2-run home run, driving home the Seawolves' lone runs of that contest in the 3-2 loss. Pitch taken us outside for ball 3. 3 straight balls against Coppersmith.
Well, that's really rare for Coppersmith because we haven't really seen her go quickly behind 3-0 yet today.
3-0 coming. This one upstairs, just over the letters for ball 4. And Rarich is awarded first base, where she'll greet assistant coach Higgs at the first base side. And I believe she will be pinch ran for by Emma Campbell, the Seawolves' designated pinch runner.
Well, there you have it again. You're scoreless. It's scoreless in this game. Neither team has scored a run. You want to break that. You want to be the first one to break it. You got to be reliant on your pinch runner the same way that UMBC was with Julia Colton in an inning or two ago, even though that didn't lead to anything. There's one out.
That's one out here off the infield out by McFarland. Bring up Nicole McCarville. First pitch swinging, lines this one behind home plate for a strike. Looking at Emma Campbell's numbers, she is trying to find her steals. No steals on the season. An on-base percentage of .714. So used solely for her speed as the 0-1 swung on, hit hard, but past the first base line. Foul, out of play.
Seawolves haven't really been able to have too much of an answer to get the hits that they wanted to bring in home their players. It's been really tough. They have a player on first right now with one out. It's going to take a few hits to try and do that.
Coppersmith 0-2. This one high and outside for a called ball.
So after
only one hit between both teams. That was on Kyra McFarland's slap hit back in the fourth. As since then, again, this pitcher's duel is only allowed, I believe, 3 base runners combined. Carville reaches out on this swing, and she lines it over to the right field side. Under it is Dempsey to make the grab. And Seawolves now with 2 outs and a runner on first for Jordan Nowakowski.
For Nowakowski, she's 0-1 in the day. Drew her walk her first at-bat of the game, but then was struck out on her second. She wants to try and get a base hit here that could bring Campbell to as far as third. Or if she hits it deep enough, could be bringing in a run.
First pitch swinging. This one sails past the first base dugout. Foul into out of play area. As Zach is bringing up an interesting point. The dimensions of this field, though, it's about 250 all around. Center about 275, maybe a little bit deeper. It seems the Stony Brook hitting is really trying to go opposite for the right-handed batters, and that's targeting the right field side, which is a bit deeper than the left field side, although not by much.
So let's once again point out Stony Brook baseball playing game 1 of their weekend series against UMBC today. They have a chance this weekend to clinch the top seed in the America East Baseball Tournament and can have Joe Nathan Field host it. Jared Milch is the game 1 starter.
0-1 on the way by Coppersmith. Nowakowski holds off on the swing. Checked just in time for a ball past the outside part of the plate. 1-1 count.
It almost looked like a pitch that Nowakowski would have tried to take a crack at after observing what she did in the last pitch thrown by Coppersmith.
Yes, as 1-1 on the way. Pitch taken outside for a strike. Just catches the right corner of the plate.
This one looks like it was just a little more in according to the umpire. Could have looked different, but I can see that going either way, and I think I agree.
And Zach, how about the rivalry with Stony Brook and UMBC recently? Seeing it out in baseball, here with softball. Pitch on the way. Sun popped up over the second base side. Stop going in foul territory. She keeps up with it and is able to make the grab, get under it. So the Seawolves strand a runner with no hits, no runs scored, no errors, no score, approaching the bottom of the 6th. Zach will keep it here. And again, let's chat about that Stony Brook UMBC rivalry, huh? And I've seen it in baseball, softball, lacrosse. And it's been very interesting to watch over the past month.
Yeah, we know exactly what both of these teams have been through in multiple sports. In women's lacrosse, Stony Brook looked really good against them this year. Almost nearly looked rough in that women's lacrosse semifinal after trailing 4-0, but that didn't stop them from doing what needed to be done. They unleashed their full power, and apparently that's the type of full power that we have never seen, especially from Joe Spolina, whether or not we have been here for that long. Men's basketball, UMBC has looked more dominant over the past few years. Women's basketball, not really much the same. Stony Brook has looked good in that. Football, UMBC does not have football. Men's lacrosse, well, apparently there's that, as UMBC looked really good against Stony Brook. This year, being able to capture those pair of overtime wins at home and away, so you can understand what that's like. Stony Brook has their good strides in women's lacrosse and women's basketball, while UMBC has their strides in men's basketball and men's lacrosse. And this one right here could be the one that splits the baby.
And I agree. That's probably the most interesting part of this analysis, is, as you said, on the women's athletics side, it's really been Stony Brook dominated in this rivalry. And on the men's side, include soccer in the debate, it's leaning more towards the UMBC for their men's programs. But at the same time, for softball, these two teams are so evenly matched in almost every category that really it can go either way, and this one is going to ideally decide who the better team is.
So we now enter the bottom of the sixth, a big stretch here between these two teams.
Yeah, Dempsey up to bat, takes the first pitch low and outside for a strike. She's 0 for 1 on the afternoon, struck out her first time.
Bodrick trying to keep her no-hitter alive, but she can't win the no-hitter if the Seawolves can't produce runs.
0-1 on the way. This one fouled behind home plate. Pitch was a high riser. It was just rising past the middle part of the zone.
Who do you think has got more pressure to try and help their team win so far today, Coppersmith or Bodrick?
Well, there's a lot of pressure for both of these teams, Zach, as, for Baldrow, if Stony Brook loses, they're out. So ideally, you got to imagine there's really a lot of pressure. 0-2 on the way, and lunging out of the box is Dempsey. Just gets her bat on it and makes contact towards the UMBC dugout, foul. But also for Coppersmith, already over 300 pitches thrown this series. Can't imagine that if UMBC loses Game 3, she'd be put out there to at least start Game 4. You at least want to save her towards the later parts, as this pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Baldrug back to the heater at the top of the zone, gets Dempsey swinging well below it, and 1 out here to start the bottom of the sixth.
6 strikeouts now for Dawn Bodrug, trying to keep that no-hitter looking excellent, and she just continues to try and work as hard as she can, hoping to make sure that this game is not her last.
Yeah, no-hitter, I don't think is really the big story here for the Seawolves. I think they care more about getting the win in this one than securing a no-hitter, just because, again, they lose, they're out. First pitch taken by the batter, that being Dano for a called strike. The left-handed contact hitter is 0-2 on the afternoon. 0-1 coming, taken well outside for a ball.
Oh, they're actually calling it a strike.
For a strike.
It caught the corner.
From our vantage point, that one was outside the zone, but
it was a little high, a little outside. May have just gotten that top left corner from our view. So
big switch. Our camera situated behind home plate, behind the umpire. 0-2 pitch swung on, hit towards the left field side, and
Sanzone.
Getting under that is Sanzone for out number 2.
Well, Sanzone hanging around there for like a second or two, just moving around a few feet all around, like in pretty much in a circle from the looks of it, but good adjustment. There wasn't really any sun to beat right there. Could have made the ball a little hard to see, cool. But still able to make the catch.
Still a good day at UMBC. It's still a partly cloudy day, but weather is not affecting this contest. It's high 70s. First pitch to Keffler, taken inside for a called ball. 85 degrees here on the island. 1:12 p.m. listening to WUSB Stony Brook. As for Baldrug, she has thrown 73 pitches. 50 of those have been strikes. Number 74 on the way, catching the bottom part of the strike zone. 1-1 count to Keffler, 0-2 on the afternoon.
Keffler flew out to Sanzone in their first at-bat, then fouled out to Roberich in her second.
And what do you make of that, Zach? A lot of contact being placed here, especially by Keffler, who takes a pitch on the outside for a called strike.
I'd say Bodrick knows what she's doing, knowing that the season is at stake here, and this is really forcing her to be the best player that she possibly could, especially the one that was at Indian River State this last season, 2 seasons ago.
1-2 pitch chopped past the third base line, foul. 9 flyouts induced by Baldrug, only 2 groundouts. as well as 6 strikeouts, compared to Coppersmith, who has induced 11 flyouts, 4 groundouts, and 3 Ks. She has allowed the most walks, well, both pitchers have allowed 2 walks each. 1-2 coming. Wind up pitch, taken for a ball. 2-2 count.
We can imagine who the Game 1 starter for either one of these teams would be should they go to the NCAA tournament. It's who has been doing it today.
2-2 count taken upstairs for called ball, and Keffler works the at-bat to a full count. They're trailing 1-2.
There hasn't been an extra inning game here in the America East Softball Tournament yet.
It's a great point as Keffler chops on this one to stay alive. Passing the foul ball past first base side, out of play.
Stony Brook, I don't believe they were even involved in an extra inning game either during conference play in the regular season.
You know, the only one I remember is the game against UAlbany, which ended at the bottom of the 8th, where they gave up the grand slam to Miranda Jimenez. Pitch taken outside for a ball 4, so Baldrug allows her first base runner in a couple of innings with a 2-out walk. First base runner allowed since the bottom of the 3rd when Ashley De La Guardia led off the inning with a walk.
So now you get a big spot right here for Sierra Pierce. 0 for 2, but she could be due for a hit. Even with a hit, that may not be enough to get the run unless it's deep enough. But Bodrick knows that this could be a potential threat on the retriever's end.
5 doubles on the season, 29 hits overall. Is this time for a slap hit, Zach? Pitch taken outside for a ball.
Bodrick needs to be careful. She knows that these outside balls gives her a chance to keep the batters from thinking about swinging it rather than going low enough for them to try and take a crack.
Seawolves defense expecting a bunt/slap hit here. Craig and Roberts on the corners are pinching in as the pitch is thrown, and you're seeing Brooke Dye transition from second over to first. As this pitch taken for a strike, runner going to second, throw over, not in time, and sliding in safely is Keffler, and with that, runner in scoring position for UMBC.
Well, now a base hit can probably bring in a run, but Bodrick can't let that happen. Wants to get out Pierce to keep things really hot.
Keffler, her 11th stolen base of the season, second on the team, behind Dano, who has 17 stolen bases. 1-1 inside, almost hits the batter, as this one is taken for a ball, 2-1 count.
What's it going to take for Bodrick to try and get the throws that she wants to try and fool the batters?
Well, we've seen her lose a bit of that control she had at the start of the inning, as this one is grounded past the third base side, past the diving Riley Craig fair, and that's going to bring home a run. Keffler crosses home plate, and the no-hit bid is broken by an RBI single.
Man, Riley Craig couldn't get the handling on the ball that she wanted, and really, throwing it along the third base line, that was going to probably stay on the right side long enough for it to be fair either way, and now it's UMBC with the lead in the bottom of the 6th.
First hit couldn't come at a bigger point. Sierra Pierce with the hit, and bringing up Madison Wilson to the plate to try to add on some extra damage. As first pitch swinging, this one is sailing over the left field side, as this one is foul, just misses the left field foul pole by about 10 inches or so. It's very close, as that ball just sailed out of play. And so UMBC breaks the scoreless tie with taking a 1-0 lead, RBI single by Sierra Pierce, one of the 7 hitters batting above 300 this season. That was her 30th hit of the season, 3rd in the team in that category. 0-1 pitch taken outside by Wilson for a ball.
Now Stony Brook's the one in trouble here. And so is Don Bodrick.
Bodrick, 90th pitch on the way, as she's 1-1 in the count. This one
fouled behind.
Cut on and fouled behind. The backstop for a strike. Umpire will exit to grab some more softballs. as a lot of foul balls have been hit in this one, Zach.
Yep, definitely a lot of foul balls, and I think Bodrick would have preferred a lot more of that on the likes of Pierce and Keffler. If that were the case, then we may not be seeing a lead for UMBC. But really, playing around is what both teams like to do.
This one cut on, hit towards the left field side. It's shallow left field. It is Craig to make the catch. He'll angrily spike the ball because one run off one hit, one left on base for the Retrievers. The big story. Pierce with the RBI hit. Sierra Pierce giving UMBC a 1-0 lead. Will it be enough? We'll find out. Top of the 7th, potentially Stony Brook's last inning of the season, coming up live on WUSB Stony Brook. Back here at WUSB Studios on the call for the America East Championship, approaching the top of the 7th. UMBC 3 outs away from securing their second consecutive postseason title. According to Coppersmith, the conference's best pitcher, first team all-conference awards earned this season is looking to put away the Seawolves and capture her second consecutive most outstanding postseason player of the year award. As
You
first
say,
pitch to Craig the first pitch to Die, swung on, missed for a strike.
You could say America is MLP, probably.
Yeah, agreed. As this one fouled past the first base side, and quickly dies behind 0-2. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Seawolves, the right-handed hitting Die. Left-hander Craig, right-hander Senzone. Looking at sophomore, senior, freshman. So big variety there. Swung on and missed, and 3 pitches result in an out for Coppersmith. Only 2 remaining to keep Seawolves' chances alive here in the America East Championship game.
Yes, this has to be the moment for Riley Craig to try and get a spark the way she wanted it to. Has not been successful today. She wants to redeem herself after she could not make the clean catch that would have probably kept this game scoreless still.
I mean, that was a close one. That was a line drive as she lines this one behind home plate for strike. Craig had to make a diving effort, and she's been making incredible plays all series long. So that was just a heater that flew past her into shallow left field as she swings on this one, and the cuts it foul. 0-2 count for Craig, 1 out.
4 straight strikes that Coppersmith has thrown. It's been that big.
And Coppersmith doesn't waste a lot of her pitches. 83% of her pitches thrown this season have found the strike zone. 0-2 on the way. Swung on and missed. Big cut by Craig, but no one home. Seawolves down to their final out of the season. And bringing up Juliana Sanzone. A lot of pressure put on the line here for the freshman. 0-2 on the afternoon. First pitch taken high and inside for a called ball. Should she get on base, Shauna Nuss would be tasked with keeping the inning alive. That will restart the top of the order after her with Herring, McFarland, and Roberts due up.
This is a tough stretch for Stony Brook. They have to rely on the bottom of the batting order to keep their hopes alive.
That's a great point. Pitch taken high and away for a called ball against the right-handed batter. 2-0 count for Sanzone. Pitch taken low and away, and after getting ahead and throwing 6 consecutive strikes, Coppersmith finds herself behind 3-0 on the pitch low and down the middle underneath in the dirt.
Let's see that was a good smart thinking by Sanzone to keep herself there for a little while.
And this pitch taken nips the outside corner for a called strike.
Cardinal rule.
Yeah, 3-0, especially under Coach Bryant. And her play style, you don't want to see the Seals get aggressive. And she takes this pitch high and away for ball 4. Seawolves show some life by getting a runner on base. And it's up to Shauna Nuss to keep the Seawolves season alive. Remember, UMBC only needs to win 1 game to claim the conference title. This can be it, as they currently lead 1-0 here in the top of the 7th. 7 innings in softball, unlike 9 played in baseball.
Let's see if Shauna Nuss can really make the UMBC dugout and fans' jaws drop if she can lift one out deep enough to put Stony Brook ahead.
Nuss has third best batting average on the team compared to starters throughout the entire season, batting .283. She has a hit against Coppersmith in the series.
Let's hope that her being right here at the bottom of the batting order is a blessing in disguise.
First pitch taken outside for a ball. 1-0. Nuss 1 for 2 on the afternoon.
Well, let's see if Nuss can survive long enough too and also get on base. We return to the top of the batting order, which would be a huge spot for Stony Brook, especially since Jordan Herring wants to get better.
1-0 coming. This pitch taken outside against the left-handed batter. And this one catching the left corner of the zone. 1-1 count. Coppersmith with the windup, the pitch. This one batted over to Stott. She'll throw it over to first in time. And as a result, UMBC have captured the 2021 America East Championship. Back-to-back championship victories for the UMBC Retrievers.
Well, UMBC really, Coppersmith playing the big game that she wanted to, even though her no-hitter bid was lost first. Still didn't stop her from not allowing any runs at all and being able to strand multiple players on base for Stony Brook. And you still got to also appreciate Don Bodrick with Sierra Pierce being able to crack that hole wide open in the most critical point of the game. And really, UMBC just continuing to start looking like they could have one to create a dynasty. And with Coppersmith coming back next season, regardless, we are probably in the middle of the dynasty right now for the Retrievers.
Well put, Zach. Is this the makings of a dynasty? Back-to-back conference titles coinciding with the arrival of Courtney Coppersmith, the ace, delivering another exceptional performance in what was a very ugly offensively battled game. It was a pitching duel in every sense of the word. Courtney Coppersmith, her final line, 2 hits surrendered, no runs given up, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 27 batters faced. Forced 11 flyouts and 5 groundouts in 83 pitches. And as you alluded to, Zach, Dawn Baldrig really couldn't pitch. The only way you could pitch better than her was by doing what Courtney Coppersmith did, as Baldrig allowed only 1 hit, which was the lone run-inducing hit, given up to Pierce, who singled down the left field line to score Keffler. As Baldrig went 6 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and 22 batters faced, 10 flyouts, 2 groundouts, and 90 pitches thrown. Not enough to get the victory for Stony Brook, whose offense was muted in the contest.
Yeah, really, this was just really unfortunate for Megan Bryant and this team that had a lot of returning players and veterans players that looked like they could do great with the batting, but it just wasn't enough because Courtney Coppersmith, the America East Pitcher of the Year, just too strong and too elusive to be beaten out like that. And you know that as well as I do that no matter who they play to begin the NCAA tournament, she is the Game 1 starter.
Absolutely. Is likely going to be named most outstanding player of the tournament. Had a phenomenal series and played tremendous against Stony Brook. Only 1 career loss against the Seawolves. She has won her last 5 battles, dating back to the 2019 conference finals against them. And with that, let's take a quick look, kind of tip our hats to some of the graduates whose collegiate careers ended with that loss. Of course, Riley Craig, the third baseman for Stony Brook for much of the season, alongside her Jordan Nowakowski and Melissa Rarich, one of the best battery pairs in the America East, that pitcher-catcher connection. Alina Lance as well, the graduate transfer, who had 1 season of work here with the Seawolves. Jordan Herring as well, the graduate outfielder, the all-time singles leader with 100 and over 151 in program history. And Herring, Nowakowski, and Rarich all named to all-conference first teams. So a lot of talent, a lot of veteran experience there. and ultimately a lot of key positions that are going to need some replacing come next season in the catcher, secondary pitcher, and third base side.
Yeah, definitely. We know that it's going to be a lot of work for Megan Bryant this upcoming offseason, and we're going to see what she can adjust to. But one thing's for sure is that one of the biggest things that she is fortunate to keep, Dawn Bodrick. It's going to probably be another pitcher's duel once the Seawolves and Retrievers face each other again next season. It's just going to make way for another who's who of who's going to win the America East title. But for now, UMBC can celebrate, and we'll wait to hear who they will play in a little while.